Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Prototype. It's been a long while since we've started off in this area, right next to Dana's safe house, which isn't so safe anymore. I was kind of interested in what this was actually saying, but, well, everything's too blurry in order to make out. It's fight something. But you can even see the graffiti on the other side of here, which I'm not really good at reading graffiti, but I believe that says Dana's. And it's kind of nice to come back here. Now, one thing I actually wanted to show off was, well, the thermobaric tank. This is the easiest one and arguably kind of the only one. You don't see and you don't experience actually thermobaric tanks being around very often. So the closest one and easiest one to get, of course, is the one right next to Rolling Thunder. You can go around destroying anything and everything in your path, given your limit, but remember that you have limited ammo. You can destroy hives in a single shot, but I find that there is a weird thing that happens with the thermobaric tank once you do this. The scene happens, and the tank is gone. I don't understand why this happens. It has something to do with the scene, though. The reason why I think it has something to do with the scene is because when the camera focus goes to the hive and the hive only and the tank is not involved, or if you, then the tank disappears. But if you have the tank in shot, or you do what I just did and get out and get back in, disrupting the scene going on, then you actually get to keep the tank for a little bit longer. I don't know why that is an issue, though. It's a weird glitch that is not really funny, it's more of an inconvenience because thermobaric tanks are supposed to be exploding, not disappearing into thin air. But anyway, we're starting off near Dana's safe house because really this is the quickest and shortest route to our next mission. But before we do that, of course, let's get another upgrade in order to help us in our next fight. This is where you're going to be wanting a huge amount of abilities. And in terms of fighting, there's really only one other move that I would really like to have, and that is Blade Frenzy. Blade Frenzy is very similar to the Dashing Slice, in all honesty. It finally makes use of our heavy attack button on the ground. Use it and you'll do some quick swipes at an enemy, 3 or 4, I think, to do some quick damage really quickly in close combat. The game really likes comparing the blade to the claw power for some reason. And honestly, I can kind of see the resemblance, but the blade is far more useful than the claws are. And there is the Blood Tox Pumper. We were able to get it all the way over here into the middle of Times Square because, you know, Times Square is important. And now it's time to activate it and see what we can shake up.
Okay, let's see what we can shake loose.
Alright, everything's going.
Whoa. We have seismic activity in your area. Large-scale stuff. Looks like you got their attention. Stand by. Tactical says there's no hives, nothing nearby. It must be coming from subsurface.
That is a sick, nasty car that just made awesome flips. And that pumper really moves and pumps really subtly. But this is another specific type of mission. The last one was an escort mission. This is a defend mission. This is all about defense. Tower defense, if you're wanting to actually put a name to it. And we have a lot of hunters in order to deal with. But hopefully we're able to get a lot of use out of our new abilities. Specifically the hammer toss, because it's good for being really quick against hunters. The only problem it has, the hammer toss I mean, is that it is rather similar to the bullet dive drop, and that the accuracy for it kind of can be not that great. So your first priority is to get the hunters away from the pumper. Get their attention away from it and make them focus on you. The annoying thing is that on hard mode, you're dealing with a large amount of hunters. I believe with this wave, there are multiple waves, you're dealing with about 6. So if you are able to whittle them down, or have the military take a little bit of the fight away from you, then you should be good. If you're having trouble, the Blade Air Slice is absolute godsend. You should have it. If you don't, spend the evolution points. If you don't have them, well, you may have to go and grind for them. Or play on an easier difficulty, one of the two. See, that military in the background is doing its job with one of the hunters. And sometimes I find that the game doesn't like using the Blade Air Slice, because if you go into a glide position, the first priority that the game says is that you're using bullet dive drop. And that can kind of screw up your momentum. So generally, there's a couple of waves. At least 4, because we're dealing with each area of the perimeter. Don't know what these walls are really doing here, because they get destroyed really quickly, very fast. But at least they kind of keep the hunters out, even though they can just jump over it. Sometimes the hammer toss can actually save you from flying projectiles, because if you get the hammer toss actually going and you're flying in the air, you won't be affected by a lot of projectiles being flung at you. And sometimes you can go backwards, too. Didn't want the thermal vision. So yeah, this mission is a bit difficult because of the amount of enemies that you're fighting against. There's 5 on the Bloodtox pumper, and it's already down to 1/4 of its original health. So you can kind of see that, like the last mission, you're going to be doing this a couple of times, and making advantage of the checkpoints that it gives you. Unfortunately for the game, checkpoints are kind of few and far between, so if you're not good at the game just yet, or at least as good as it is acceptable, then you may have to go out and practice a bit. Another issue I find with this is that the military is a bit schizophrenic.
Only thing you
They
need to
focus
do-
on the military when the military focus on the infected right here when they are popping up out of the ground. Their priority shifts to them. But if there's no infected in the area, they'll all of a sudden go, wait, that's Alex Mercer, let's go and fight him instead. And that is just annoying. It's annoying in the mindset of, come on. Like, you really think I'm going to be destroying the pumper? And in honesty, yes, I'm going to be destroying the pumper, because that's what all they think I'm going to be doing. In terms of armor, I'm still hesitant on using the actual full armor, because the amount of mobility that you lose with using full armor does not warrant the defense. I like using the shield a lot more when I'm wanting to actually take a lot less damage because, well, I'm able to dive roll. Dive rolling is just really good. But you can see that there is a bit of a pain in my neck right over here. It's a leader hunter. Unfortunately, when I actually mentioned practice, leader hunters don't appear in the world. You actually have to go into specific events. So if you haven't been doing events, well, go to Stairway specifically if you want to practice against leader hunters, because I believe at least one shows up if you're playing on normal difficulty. Because these guys can kick your butt. But if you can consume them, then you get a lot of health back, and that's great. Alright then, one more perimeter in order to defend, and then we should be pretty much good. This is the western, so we've dealt with the other three. You can also throw things, and sometimes there's a tank that comes around that... I'm not really sure if the tank actually does any kind of use, but it does take down the hunters, the regular hunters anyways, rather efficiently. But in terms of being quick and stylish, the tank doesn't really make for good viewing. Alright, that silly leader hunter, critical pain, will take down a great deal of it, get its interest back onto you. Except that interest definitely does not stay. That noise.
We are moving additional forces to your location. Be aware. Check fire on inbound.
Oh right, they're firing on me. I forgot.
All field units, your mission priority is to keep that pump operational as it delivers the cargo. Everything else is priority 2.
So now all of the perimeters are defended, which means that we're just dealing with the leftovers. Unfortunately, the leftovers on hard difficulty are 2 leader hunters and 2 hydras. To be honest, the actual threat is the leader hunters, because they do the majority of the damage, because of how much they wildly snipe at you. The hydras, on the other hand, in the times I've fought them, they don't really focus on you, and they don't focus on the pumper either. So I don't know what they're doing. Critical pain saves my life. But sometimes it doesn't actually work as well as I think it should, because that can also happen. Get too close to the Hydra and all of a sudden they'll go, hey, there's a guy flying around. Let's hit him out of the air. And I thought I was gonna die there. But luckily I was able to survive just by timing alone. I should have survived. I should have not have survived. And I was wondering if a glitch was actually going to happen. But, well, it didn't, unfortunately. Alright, time for the Hydras. If there was a tank around, I would have jumped into the tank in order to take them down that way. Because fighting Hydras on foot, I find, doesn't really work as well as you would expect. In terms of the attacks, Hydras are able to swipe around in a great area around where their hole is. They're able to throw things at you at long range, and they're able to just slap down like a whip fist. They're very similar to whip fist, to be completely honest. But in terms of doing damage to them on foot, I haven't found a great way of doing that. So, overall, I find that fighting them like this is kind of clumsy. Luckily, I don't know where their attention is actually going, so it's pretty good that way. Throwing stuff at them seems to be the best angle, but, well, I want it to be a little bit more of variety into this. There we go. And luckily when they die, they do give a decent amount of health back. Alright, time for the second one. Let's get some Whip Fist in here. Let's see what it does. To be honest, in terms of actual combat, the Whip Fist is kind of the weakest. It's great for contextual things and getting closer to other things. I don't know what it exploded on. Probably the military guy. Okay. Yeah, sure, you'll kill me, buddy. Alright, can I end this stylishly? Yes, I can. Alright.
Outstanding, outstanding. Tank is drained and position still secured. Looks like the deployment is a success. Stand by for new orders.
I'm sorry for anyone who has lived in the sewers, because now it's full of blood tox. So that is it. We have emptied the pumper of the blood tox. It is now underneath all of New York City. At least Manhattan. And hopefully we're able to drive Elizabeth Green out of the open, because if you weren't paying attention to the bottom right corner, that was our goal. She's down there. Let's see if we can't make her come up here coughing on what is potentially supposed to be killing her. Maybe she's dead. I don't know. But hopefully we'll see next time. See you next time, everyone. Well, this food mart must have he has a jaunt. But this food mart apparently just only has pure orange vodka. Drink responsibly, though. You'd think that a food mart would have a lot more than just vodka. I want some variety, but, well, it's got pure oranges in it. It's good. It's really good. And I think Alex will agree with me. What do you say, Alex? Apparently he's really eager. He's got his mouth open. He just really wants that vodka. He's drooling at the mouth. Either that, or he is getting ready for his grisly voice. I'm gonna be ready. I will be the hero that this city does not deserve. He's secretly Batman. Oh my goodness.